Welcome back to the new breaking news.
I'm your host, MinnowKnight.
And I'm your co-host, Bignose.
And today we talk about the news like you have never heard before.
And how it might affect you.
So stay tuned and get ready for some news. Hello, welcome back to the Discourse Bar. My name is MinnowKnight. I am joined by the OG Bignose, or Bignose as we know him here and love him here on this YouTube wonderful channel. Today we have some pretty good, interesting news, because as you saw from the intro, it's another episode of the breaking news. As always,
I believe it's actually the new breaking news, but okay, go ahead.
I don't know. But as always, we have our lovely script right here, so just so you know, we're professional with our time. All right. So, Nate, why don't you go ahead and... Professional, right? So, Nate, why don't you go ahead and tell them a little bit about what we are talking about today?
All right. So, earlier this year, after the COVID-19 bans were kind of lifted up a little bit, not bans, but restrictions were lifted up a little bit and then put back down after the resurgence of cases. The Georgia governor did actually lock down his state again, but he did not actually require masks as per what we're told. The Atlanta mayor did not like that and so sued him. And then the governor sued the mayor.
Yeah, it's kind of a really confusing, wonderful time with a whole bunch of governors and mayors suing each other over in Georgia. So, yeah, basically, and I'm going to go ahead and send us over here for an overlay real quick. So as you can see here, we're going to use a couple sources. The first one is from Fox News, but don't worry, we are not biased. So the second one is the HuffPost, just so you can see what we're looking at here. We're going to start out with the HuffPost real quick. Just starting from the top, Georgia Governor Brian Kemp is suing the Atlanta's mayor and city council to block the city from enforcing its mandate to wearing masks in public and other rules to relate to the COVID-19 pandemic. This is Kemp and Georgia Attorney General Chris Carr in a suit filed in the state court late Thursday in Atlanta, argued that the Atlanta mayor, Keisha Lance Bottoms, has overstepped her authority and must obey Kemp's executive orders under state law. So, from what we were able to gather is that in the state of Georgia, you have to abide by the state law. Basically, you can't be more restrictive or less restrictive. If the state says, hey, we're doing this, you have to do that. Pretty much. The idea is like everyone has to use a pilot pen. You can't really, there we go. Everyone has to use a pilot pen. If they would sign that into law, then you would have to use a pilot pen. If you used anything else, like a zebra pen, like Nate is showing, then you would
probably be fined. Yeah. Who knows?
Sorry, there was noise outside. We're going to ignore that because I live in a harbor. That's cool. Anyways, going back to an overlay real quick. So as we look here on the Fox News, we see that Governor Kemp is saying that businesses are barely hanging on now. He said they can't be some city's police force. It seems a terrible message. It sends a terrible message. And that's one of the reasons I'm continuing to take this position. His position being that, hey, we're going to encourage masks. As you can read up here, the Republican governor and ally of President Trump said that he had agreed that wearing a mask is effective, but he does not believe in a mandate. He believes that is above what is the lawful use of government, pretty much, is what we've been able to find. That is not what I wanted to click. So yeah, it's an interesting little tidbit. We're interested to see what happens because currently there is not news as to whether or not the lawsuit's actually going to go through or when the lawsuit's even going to happen. We just thought it was kind of a funny thing. It's like a governor is suing a mayor because the mayor didn't do as she was told. The mayor is countersuing the governor. It's a whole mess. Georgia, please, for the love of God, fix your damn shit. Because you're being insane right now. You're
making us look bad. But anyways, there's just a lot of stuff going on. But on brighter news, for our military folk, specifically in this, watching this video and in this video, Yeah, there's some other interesting news that has been released.
For the first time in a long while, I can look at Tulsi Gabbard, Tulsi Gabbard, however you pronounce her name. I can look at her and say, thank God you're in office. She introduced a bill to allow U.S. military members to utilize CBD oil, and thank God we've been asking for this shit for months now, if not years.
Longer
I don't know.
than
I
months. It's been years.
don't pay attention enough.
Like 3 years, 4 years, somewhere in there, as
Right.
far as I know.
It's along the idea that it's an oil that's derived from hemp products. There's no THC in this. It's literally for anxiety and pain relief, which, if any of you are in the military, you know that's rampant in the military. A lot of joint pain. Personally, I have a bad shoulder, bad knees, bad back. All good enough so I can still serve actively, but still, like, it's bad enough where I wake up in the morning and sound like a 50-year-old man, and I'm only 23.
I wake up in the morning and sound the same, and I'm 21.
Yeah, we're kind of hurting a lot.
Yes.
It's a great time. But just so you guys don't just hear us and not believe us, once again, we're going to go to another overlay just so we can see some news. All right, so we are here on the gabbardhouse.gov. This is Tulsi Gabbard's main page, her whole government page. It says, Mary Jane, Congress just passed measure allowing military troops to use CBD. On Monday, the House of Representatives voted in favor of an amendment to the National Defense Authorization Act, the NDAA, that approves the use of CBD and other hemp-derived products by members of the United States military. The measure, sponsored by Iraq veteran Representative Tulsi Gabbard, Democrat in Hawaii, passed by a vote of 336 to 71. Those 71 House representatives, are y'all guys assholes?
I swear.
I swear to God. No offense to y'all guys, but seriously, come on.
Please.
It's not marijuana, man. It's literally just it's nothing worse than this. Come on. Anyhow, it says the Secretary of Defense may not prohibit on basis of the product containing hemp or any ingredient derived from hemp the possession, use, or consumption of such a product by the member of the armed forces under the condition that such possession, use, or consumption is in compliance with applicable federal, state, and local law, the amendment states. So pretty much, if federal government allows it to be used, then members of the military can use it, is so far. Now, I know that this article says House of Representatives. I just heard recently, as in this morning, that Congress passed the act as well. As of right now, we don't have more information about how the military is going to be implementing said measures, so we will get back to you when that time is at hand. But as of right now, the entire military is celebrating. Enjoy a cold one.
Yes. I wish I had one on my desk right now, but I don't.
Not sponsored by Corona, by the way. It's what I had in the fridge.
I mean, same, I just need to grab one. But yeah, when anything is passed, make sure you definitely ask your chain of command before you do anything.
Yes, if you're in the military, please, for the love of God, talk to your chiefs, gunnies, whatever the Army and Air Force have. I don't know what they are. I know I know military, I know Navy and Marine Corps stuff. Kind of Marine Corps stuff. I don't really give a whole lot of crap about the Marine Corps. That being said, they're crazy.
This has been,
let's be honest.
This has been the news.
There's one.
There's one more?
There's one more. We forgot to talk about the Atlanta District Attorney. You complete idiot. It's actually on page 3. You can't see that. That's actual notes. Not a script. Ooh. Notes.
Notes? Wait, that's actually kind of professional.
Semi-professional. We are semi-professional. God damn it. So
that's
Atlanta.
Fair. That's fair.
The Atlanta District Attorney, Paul Howard. As y'all know, he is the guy that charged Officer Rolfe with felony murder and
felony murder.
10 other felony murder and 10 other charges, to include obstruction of the law, I believe is one of them, or abuse of the law. I forget. It's been a minute since I looked into the Rayshard Brooks shooting. The Rayshard Brooks shooting, for anyone wondering. Turns out this dude's kind of a prick and kind of corrupt. Just in case anyone's wondering. Not that anyone didn't see that coming, right? and I'm going to go to the overlay here in a second, but apparently he is being investigated for abuse of power and sexual harassment, not to mention, I believe it's over $180,000 of campaign finances that he just pocketed from the article I was reading.
Then.
So we're going to jump right over to the editor me. Right over to the Independent Sentinel. It's one of those, I love this place. It has some decent non-biased news. So, Atlanta District Attorney in Brooks' case is under investigation, rushes charges against police. That is the headline.
I'm going to reiterate right now real quick. Georgia.
Get your shit together. Come on, for fuck's sakes. So
again, all in good faith.
All in good faith. But I believe in you, Georgia. I believe in you. Eventually, you'll work it out.
Eventually.
So the Georgia Bureau of Investigation did not know Fulton County District Attorney Paul Howard was announcing charges against the Atlanta police officers in Rayshard Brooks shooting death. They had not even finished its independent investigation into the matter. Going a little bit further into the article, it says he appears to be setting up his successor for failure by trying to win the election, and the felony murder charge and 10 other charges against the former officer Rolfe, who now faces the death penalty, which is true, mind you, because felony murder can get the death penalty in Georgia. Fun fact. Which, mind you, that was a complete legal shooting. I don't know. Yeah. Paul Howard needs to be in jail. Anyway. That's what I'm saying. See, Howard will likely lose the primary. Votes didn't seem to want him in office any longer. He'll also be under investigated for 2 state charges. So the 2 separate state investigations. The first and foremost, I'm going to scroll down here just a little bit. Oh, I was wrong on the number. So Channel 2, there in Atlanta, reports that discovered the city of Atlanta sent $250,000 to the attorney's office for crime prevention programs, and almost 80% of that went to Howard's paycheck, meaning he embezzled that money. Howard and May called the issue an administrative matter. Oh, are we waiting?
That's $200,000, by the way.
Yeah, $200,000. $200,000. And he claims this, as I'm going to highlight, an administrative matter. What kind of paperwork can you fuck up that puts $200,000 in your paycheck? I'm not saying I would do it, but I kind of want to know what kind of paperwork error that it causes that.
Yeah.
I don't want to know. Can anyone tell me? Nate, can you tell me? Because I can't figure that out.
I don't fuck with paperwork. You know this.
So another quote is, he does what is best for him, and what the district attorney should do is what's for the people. We see that you stealing $195,000 from black and brown children. Willis says. Willis is part of the whole news agencies and a whole bunch of that. Again, I don't live in Atlanta. I don't really know exactly who all these people are. I just know the big names from the news. So, Willis, hi. I don't know who you are. We'll figure it out later. So, let's see. 2 weeks ago, the black police officer smashed the windows of a vehicle, and this is also kind of going into more of his issues. So 2 weeks ago, 2 black police officers smashed the windows of a vehicle and tasered the black college students in the vehicle. The students did not obey the orders to stop during the Atlanta protests that had turned violent. The mayor of Atlanta fired the officers, and Paul Howard charged them on grounds that they had discharged deadly weapons, mentioning the races of the parties involved is important because one of the allegations made against the officers is that they participated in white supremacy culture. So again, this is stating that it was 2 black officers, and they're trying to paint this as white supremacy culture. You can't see my other hand because we're using Zoom and green screen effects. Great. So this article just straight up calls the district attorney racist. I don't know if I'd call him that, but he's definitely an asshole.
Yeah, he's an asshole.
100% asshole. Going into his final issue, he's also under investigation for sexual assault. Atlanta, harassment. What the fuck? Oh, excuse me, harassment. I read that wrong. But Atlanta, what the fuck? A former records clerk of Georgia District Attorney claims that she was axed because she broke off their longtime consensual relationship, according to a report. Kathy Carter, a 58-year-old former clerk and paralegal for Fulton County District Attorney Paul Howard, claims the married 68-year-old prosecutor committed unprofessional, unethical, and unlawful conduct by sexually harassing her and getting intimate with her at assorted locations, including inside the district attorney's office. That's from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution reports. They report that. The Independent Sentinel didn't, but hey, this is what we're dealing with. Since Carter made the accusation and recently filed a Quality Employment Opportunity Commission complaint, she worked for the district attorney's office for nearly 15 years before her firing in June, then newspaper reports citing personal records. Atlanta, what the fuck? What in the absolute fuck? Can you just fix your shit?
You know what? Now that that's done, I think I do actually need to go grab a beer. You can go ahead and finish this one off for me there, bud.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and jump back over here to gallery view. That son of a bitch. Well, my name has been MinnowKnight. This has been the news from all over the country. We try to stay semi-professional here, but honest to God, Georgia has been pissing us off for the past little bit. We just wanted to talk about it. That being said, if y'all guys have any, I'm putting my stuff away. If y'all guys have any news y'all want to know about, feel free to join the link down below to join our Discord and ask us questions. We might could cover it. I'm looking for suggestions all the time on different content y'all guys want to make. We just felt like this was pressing, so we decided to talk about it. So, go Congress for passing the CBDO. Y'all have a good night. Oh, we recording? Shit. Fuck. Okay.
Oh, fuck. Anyway.
You don't have to. God, give me fucking screen sharing, man. See, this is the shit I have to cut out. God, you're the worst. You're the world's worst. I'm going to put this in the very. Give me screen share. How did you do it last time?
Boom.